So here's something you don't hear every day. My husband and I are spending a year living apart while still being happily married. And it isn't about any problems or growing apart, it's about growth, period. It's about love evolving and giving each other the space to become the best version of ourselves and knowing that connection doesn't always look just one way. And it's been proof that love can thrive in unconventional ways. And honestly, this season has been a gift as I'm a 38-year-old woman just trying to figure out life. And I've learned that building a home isn't just about decorating, it's about creating a space that loves you back. But this isn't just about my marriage, right? It's about in navigating my 30s with intention. And it actually inspired a new series that I'm doing called Layers of Home, which is a series where I'm going to be peeling back the layers of my life and home to hopefully help you do the same. And this is more than just me sharing my space. It's about helping you to create a home and a life that truly loves you back, one intentional choice at a time. So let's start peeling back the layers, shall we?
Man,
Year living apart while
hold on, hold on.
Run! It's Godzilla!
That's the woman y'all are giving. Well, men are allowing to have a year away from them. That's what marriage looks like. This is ridiculous. This is like one of the craziest things. Now, if this was like a supermodel or something, or someone that I believe was a little more pleasing to the eye, okay, fine. I mean, it kind of is what it is, you know. Or maybe this is just something that people are doing nowadays. But for the most part, people ain't got the money for two homes. But ain't no way this woman is gonna be telling me like, "Hey, hun, crazy idea, crazy idea. I want to have a second home, okay, that you're gonna pay for a second home, and I want to live in that home by myself, and you're not gonna live there. We're just gonna see each other, but every now and then. But you ain't gonna live there. This woman is what, a two or a three? Like, ain't no man. All right, MC, get in there. I just can't.
If I'm curious, would your answer change if she was a 10 and if she paid for her own house though?
If she was a 10 and she didn't pay for her own home, that would
If
still
she's
be
a
a
10 and
problem.
she's paying her own mortgage, she want to be with you, but she don't want to live with you.
That's
You can come
still
over and clap whenever you want to, but y'all ain't living together.
that's still a problem though. Okay. I don't want to double talk. Okay, let me clean that up. This is the thing. If any woman in your household, regardless if she's on the 10 or wherever the case is, like, I feel like if somebody's gonna make a case, it is probably an 8 or higher. Outside of that, y'all ain't got you no business asking for a second home. Like this, I don't know if I would even go. I don't know if I would go along with that. For me, like if I was the okay, this is the thing, and I saw this on Anton's show, and I was actually on the side. I wasn't on Anton's side, but when he broke it down, it actually made kind of sense though, because his second place is more like the home office. It's just a home. Okay, so there's a little bit of tax incentive there, and his wife is always there at this place. So it's a little bit different than what how she's portraying it versus how Anton Daniels is how he presented the message, and it was on his late night stream. So again, I was like, yeah, this is not a smart thing. But he made a point like instead of having a man cave, you have a man home. So on the guy's side, hey, I am 100% on board. I will have. This is probably why I'm not married, but I will get a second home. I ain't about to have a second home for my wife to go live in. Hey, man, no, you stay at the home, the family home, and I have the man cave home where I do the business at, as well as if I want to get away and do some other stuff, I can do that.
Yeah, this is what left leaners do. When they don't like the definition of something, they'll try to alter it or change it to fit their narrative. Look, if you don't know how to coexist with somebody else in your space, just say that. Don't get married. Look, when people are married, it's not perfect, right? I'll open the curtain a little bit on mine. I'm a morning person. My wife is a night person. We both know don't mess with each other during that time. I'm at my best in the morning. I know she don't want to be bothered. Right now, as soon as I end this podcast, she gonna want to talk, and I'm like, no, no, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to bed. Just little nuances like that, right? But these people, they suck so bad at dealing with differences between themselves and their spouses that they adjust the marriage definitions to things like this. Now, I just posted another article because celebrities do this weirdo stuff too. An actress that I actually kind of respect, but I don't like her stance on marriage. Her and her husband have been married for 20 years. They don't live together.
Mhm.
So, matter of fact, I think they're in entirely different cities. So there's that aspect of it too. But I'll never understand this type of no, because me personally,
Wait, which chick is this?
Cheryl Lee Ralph, she was the stepmom on Moesha, and she's one of the teachers on Abbott
Oh,
Elementary School.
the black chick, the
Yeah,
black
the
teacher.
older black lady. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
very talented actress, but I
Well, I did
don't
not
get.
know that.
I don't subscribe. I watch that show because my wife is a teacher and it's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a funny
But
show. Shut
yeah,
up.
yes, it's a pretty funny show. But yeah, man, this is goofy to me because unless y'all doing some type of open marriage type stuff,
Well,
then
yeah,
more than likely that's
a
what's
lot of
happening.
a
But
lot of
if your marriage is monogamous, this makes no sense at all
yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'm grabbing something.
A lot of people pointed that out though, because in this video, it looks like the maybe the woman, the wife, she presented the idea, and it's almost looked like it's almost like a business thing as well too, because she's talking about some other business ventures.
That's a red
But
flag. That's a red flag,
but
TR.
I mean, are we on the same page? Having a second home for the office, that's or a second place that's for the home office. Are we okay with that? Because I have seen people do stuff like that where they have, I mean, again, and if you want to go watch the video, just go to Anton's channel where he talks about this though. But it is a second place he goes, and if he's working late, and I feel like I don't know how Anton has time to even sleep. He goes to he's at the office for a long time, and so he might sleep there. So is that something that's doable if you can afford a second home and it doubles as not just a home but also the business?
If both the husband and the wife are extremely disciplined and of high moral character, that's the only way I can see this work.
Yeah,
Outside of that, nah, these people just making
I see what you're
excuses.
saying.
You want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to be married, but you don't want to deal with the person you're married to. That's how I
Yeah.
look at it.
I
Seriously.
believe like not another now I want to say a celebrity, but Jeannie Buss does this with her husband. They live in the same building but on different floors, so they kind of have their own thing going on though. But it's my place and it's your place. But like I said, I'm actually kind of on the idea that I can have a second place where I can call it this is the work office, and just another. I don't know if I'd be able to maintain both places like that though. And then Will Smith, his family dynamic. I mean, we obviously know Will Smith and his family dynamic, but I will say this: like when his son Jaden was 16, Will Smith gifted him a house right down the street or something like that. So maybe celebrities are already doing stuff like that. Maybe this is where that stuff is coming from, though. But I do believe it's going to take a certain type of marriage and trust in order to, I don't want to say live apart for like a year, because that's what she's advocating for, living 1 year apart from your husband. Like, man, I wish I would Bill, I mean, if it's not for like army related or military related or something like that, man, I wish a woman would present this idea to me. I'd be like, man, all right, next.
Yeah, that in my eyes, she got 1 foot out.
Would you
She
say?
already got she already got 1 foot out.
Yeah,
She working on her exit strategy.
yeah,
And I actually we talked about this one of our very first or second episodes. There was a very high percentage of married women who have secret accounts and already have an exit strategy. They're already working out in
yes,
their mind what happens when things go bad.
yeah. And again, another CJism. The divorce is planned before the marriage. I'm
Yeah,
starting to come around to that though, because I've seen like the marriage is when it comes to the whole marriage, it's like a kind of a chaotic process. But when it comes to a divorce, man, they streamline that stuff. That stuff
yeah.
moves really quickly though. So there's some truth there. And I think for this woman, maybe it works for her. But again, I would love to hear from the husband and hear his take on this. Like, if this is the right thing, because everybody's going to ask, like, all right, which cheeks are you clapping? Like, if you ain't clapping her cheeks, whose cheeks are you clapping? And then if you got the money, I mean, if you can afford 2 homes, so that becomes a money situation though. But again, how some of you marriage bros, again,
Take
like
your shots, TR. Take your shots.
I'm I'm asking you. I'm not married, and I aspire to be married someday. But also, I read some of the marriage threads on Reddit, and I feel bad for some of y'all. Y'all can't even ask y'all wife for like any type of fun stuff. Like, she used to be all over the place when you guys were younger or when she was with other guys, but now you gotta, get some birthday head like months
That's because
later.
most men are scared to tell their wives the truth. You're scared to tell your wife
Boy,
that she
boys,
got fat or she don't top you off like she used to, or
come on here,
she don't bend over and open it wide up for you like she did when
bust it
y'all were
open.
younger. You are scared to tell her that, and that's why your marriage suffers.
Yeah,
You be honest with your wife. If she don't want to up her game to keep you, that's another problem. But you got to be honest with her. I keep telling y'all this. I know so many married men who are scared to tell their wives the truth. Most of the men in that same group you're talking about, it's the same issue. I'm not attracted to her anymore. I don't know what to do. Did you tell her? Did you tell her to maybe eat a salad sometimes or
eat
go
a
for a
salad.
walk? No. Okay, have Lizzo tell her. Lizzo just lost a whole bunch of weight and now she posting
All
all this
right,
all the time.
all right, hold on.
Run! It's Godzilla!
Look, I saw the photo courtesy of MC, and
She's
I
almost there.
it's I don't knock people for like losing weight, and she's trying,
No,
and
you have to knock her because she was pushing fat positivity early in her career. You got to knock her.
that is true. That is true. It's just maybe this is the early part of her journey, but you're absolutely right. Like if you ain't trimmed, or I mean, if you start letting yourself slide though, and you know what, honestly, we just talked about the guy that Tony Gonzalez or whatever his name is, Gonzalez dude. This guy was thinking that he probably had the whole world. Like his whole marriage was it's probably perfect in his eyes up until he saw those messages. Or he saw his wife acting or moving a little bit differently, wherever the case is, though. But I mean, this is a full-time thing, man. Like once you get into a marriage, and it's not even just marriage, bros. It's also like just relationships, like boyfriend, girlfriend. When your girl starts moving a little bit differently, it's probably the marriage is probably over. It's not even worth saving. And so, if you don't believe me, go on to those Reddit threads because it's mainly anonymous for the most part. And I don't think people are out there capping though. But you got a guy that's talking about he saw text messages between his wife and her boss. I'm like, man, he's talking about should I stay or whatever. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like men are still asking those questions. Should they stay when they have blatant infidelity in front of them? There's no reason to stay. So if you're going to be married, it's a full-time job. There's no time off though. You're responsible. I don't want to say for her happiness, wherever the case is, though. But if she starts acting a certain way, you better get her in line. You got to get her in check. I know that's going to come across like, misogynistic or whatever the case is. I don't give a damn. This at the end
No,
of the day,
this is facts. This is 100% facts. I don't
yeah,
care if people think it's misogyny, but look, I said this before and I'll say it one more time. A woman will show you who she is if you just shut up and listen and watch.
sure,
If she's ready to leave you, she's going to start giving you these little, it could be her body language, it could be what she doesn't do versus what she used to do. It could be how she spends her downtime. It could be what she's reading, what she's watching on TV. I promise you, there's always indicators that something is wrong. Most dudes just don't pay attention.
right, facts. Yeah, they pay attention for a little bit and they get in this state of complacency. Because it happened to me though too. I'm not gonna get out here and cap and act like I've never like just put myself in like a bad situation. I mean, matter of fact, I was in this one of these last relationships, and I had a way that I was going to handle the relationship, and then she busted down,
Love you, whores!
and then I folded. So, and I was like, man, how did I fall for this again? So I get it. It is a constant thing, and it's something that's difficult for a lot of men to like. You gotta have ice cold. You gotta be ice cold in the veins. You just gotta be ruthless. You got to be, what would they say, exact carnage or whatever. Because if you let things slide, like this is the thing. Like I mean, I liken it to a police officer. If you're off on your day, people are going to get hurt. People are going to either get injured. Somebody might lose their life, and I think it's close to being a husband. I know some people are like, "Oh, that's a stretch." No, I don't think it is because you let things slide in your household, you're going to lose your household. You might lose your kids. You might lose your wife. You might lose your home. Like you gotta be on this full time. There are no time off, and you gotta do this until the end of time, though. So be careful what you guys are getting yourselves into because you might be good for year 2, year 5, year 10, and then at some point that switch is going to flip on, and then you know what? And you had divorce court by yourself after everybody told you picked wrong. So there's that.
Yeah, Lil Wayne has this song called "Comfortable," and if you listen to the words of that song, you can't really let them get too comfortable. Like they have to understand that you these are my lines. If you disrespect me, I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
And be
And
ready.
also, she kind of needs to understand that the women are checking for you too.
Facts. That's the other thing too. I'm glad you brought that point up too, and this will be my last point on it. Is that men, if you get to a certain level of status or notoriety, you're gonna be you're gonna have a lot of options. And I'm not saying you gotta exercise those options. I'm not saying you gotta be cheating like a Steve Smith, allegedly. But I will say this much though, you do have more options, and it's not just like picking whatever woman you want. You can kind of do whatever you want, travel, or go buy a brand new car, whatever the case is, whatever you want to do with your money. You can do whatever. I don't care. But if if your woman sees that you are the man, I'm not saying she's less likely to cheat though, but she's going to know that she has competition. So that should mean something.
Yeah, and it's not to like tease her about it or put it over. It's just to let her know, like, look, all these options out here for me, but I chose you. That's an honor. That's how she has to look at it.
You're right. They should look at it that way, but after seeing a couple of Steve Smith, man, that whole Steve Smith thing really messed it up for me.
And if you're a beta, if you know you're a beta, don't get married because more than likely you're going to marry. One thing about women is if they don't respect you, they're going to do that.
It ain't gonna change.
And if she knows that she can walk over you and bend and break your lines and boundaries, she's going to lose respect for you. And then she's going to go work for the Baltimore Ravens and get tossed out and let some football player leave himself inside of her without her.
Oh man, all right. I think that's a good place to stop though. Final words, MC.
Hey man, I told y'all when Trump won this election, it was going to get ugly before you start to see some changes. I just want to say my prediction is Trump's is permanently going to change how politics works in this country. I'll expand on that another day.
Yeah, we'll definitely get back to some of the politics because there's been a lot of Trump wins, and I mean, you get the Joy Reids and other folks losing their jobs in the media though. But podcasting is the way to go. Content creators are the new voice, and this is you come out here and you talk to the people, and so we enjoy doing this. So thanks for watching, everyone.
Peace.
Peace.